Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Jay Bird. And this is remembering 1976 and 1977 when I first had to play chess and created my opening, my theory. It was short lived back then, and how I play today, I'm the same way. And how I named the names in the last year or two now. I named the openings and things like that. And let's get down to this one. It's kind of strange, but this thing, I think I broke its understanding to what was going on, what it was supposed to be doing, and then it didn't really do, and then didn't have nowhere to go, and then just threw in. This is what my understanding looking at this game, because he just straight up blundered. But I could see why. I could see deeper into the blunder, and maybe I can put some light on that. Okay, I'm in white. It's called Knightsburg to bot 2000. No errors, no assistance, no help of what so kind to beat this bot. Game 26, and let's get down to it. E3, D5, D3, E5, E2, and we move our theory around here. We go in and out, down and up and back. After E2, D6, I go G3, F6, D2, E7, E2, and there's your Knightsburg. Okay, after E2, he castles. A3, C6, H3, my typical pawn push. After H3, E6, I go B3, he goes D8, B2, G6, I go F3, he goes E4. Now, this is where things normal but not normal. But let's see, after E4, I go G5. He pushes up. Well, instead of doing that, he should have went back. But I didn't look into this far to see what happens. We'll come back over this. What can I do? Well, maybe take this. Oh, this would be a mess. Oh, look at this. If he goes back here, take. If he takes with the pawn, then I could take the queen. And this looks like a mess. And then I could, oh, look at this. This looks like a mess. Let's go back over this later. After H6, takes E6, takes E6, D4, H5. I go back, F1, E8, D2, back in the Knightsburg, A6, C1, D6, C4. He goes E7. Well, we'll go over this. He should have took it all the way back, but I can understand why, because if you don't, this pawn gets pushed up and this situation over here don't look good. After E7, C5, E6, takes D6, takes D6, C3, G7, A1, H4, A4, A5, A3, E6, B5, H8, C6, takes C6, C1, C5, takes C5, E8, A3, G5, B4, D7, B5, G4, C1, G3, castle, F5, A3, F4, C6, takes F2, takes F2, takes E3, takes E6, takes F2, takes F2, takes E6, takes C7, E3, E1, takes D2, takes D2, G6, and he can't go nowhere. This bishop's here. He can't go here. He just can't come over here. There's nothing he can do about that. After G6, takes D7, E8, C1, E7. Go here in case he comes, checks, come down, and then have a place to hide to go back and around. Okay, that's why that. After E7, takes D5, E3, B6, E6, B7, B6, Queen E B8, no problem. D6, he forked everything. After D6, F7, B8, E4, C7, E6, C5, F6, B2, E6, C3, F6, takes A5, E8, B6, G5, A5, F6, D5, F7, D6, E6, C7, H8, A6, A8, A7, takes A7, D7, D4, E6, takes H4, D7, E4, C8, H4, D7, H5, C8, nowhere to go, H6, D7, H7, C8, Queen E8 check, D7, and that's game. Let's go back to that one part quick, and then there's another part why, you know, I don't understand. I just play the game. I'm not calculating. I didn't even calculate all that. You know what I mean? When that happened like there, I'm just going over this game now, and I just play my moves, and he goes here. Well, what happens if he didn't do that? And then you say, all right, where am I going to go with my knight? Let's say he just goes back. Well, then what happens if we go like this? Okay, first. Oh, now if he pushes, I could pass in forking. Well, wait, he'd have a knight there. Okay, let's say he does that. Yeah, but I'm still going to get out. No, I'm not. So, no, if he goes this way, technically, I could go like this. So now, what is that? I'm up 2 pawns. Now I'm threatening a knight, or I'm going to get my knight out because I got another knight here. Let's say he goes like this. And, okay, so now what? It's my move. Look, I'm just doing quickie here. I'm not no grandmaster, but then I'm out. It looks like I'm out. What's going to happen? And then the game continue on. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to start a whole nother game here. Okay, so let's go back. So that's why, obviously, it went like this. And he pushed this way, and the game went like this. Now, the next thing, I go here. He goes back. Now, let's say he don't do that. Let's say he puts his bishop back here. Okay, then I'm going to pass. Then let's say he does this. I'm going to show you an example. If he does this, you go like this, like this, like this. And now you say, well, run your rook over here. Guess what? Then I put my bishop here. And now I pinned it. And if he runs his rook, I'll take his rook. That's no good either. So that's dead. So if he did that, that's no good. Then you say, well, he needs to make a move. Well, let's say he moves here. Well, then I'll just put the bishop here. Now he's pinning this way. You see, he's like, there's nothing here. It's like, I guess the thinking of it, that's why back here, when he did this, I understand he could have went here, he's looking at this, but I think the thinking was that he still didn't have anything. You know what I mean, to go back there. And he just went like this, because there's nowhere else to go. That's what my thinking was. I didn't think he didn't want to go like this, honestly, and then have it like that. Because look, to me, this looks like it's winning anyway. He's done. Look at all my pieces, and it's just this game's going to go on like this. And like I said, if it goes like this, it's going to get worse. You see, this is no good. Okay, so but that's not how it went. Let's go back the way it went, like this. So I think the game just, it was closed in too much to move its pieces. And I think everything else fell in place pretty cool. So the mistake, it's a bigger mistake. What I'm trying to say is it's a bigger mistake to this whole game. Not because just because of that there and the bishop, he didn't move it. I think when it really came down to this, the way that position was, I think it's looking farther in, and it's just like there's, and I think this is what it did, and it just collapsed, and the game went like this. I really think I made all these other moves perfectly. See, and then this, why I moved that is because if he came down and said check, I'll move here. If he says check, I come up and then check, and then I'll come over on this side. I'm hidden. That's why. And the game went like this. And I knew I got that. I seen that. It was only a move or two. You can see what happens. And then the game goes on like this. So I just wanted to bring you to that point and show you that I think on this one, that 2200 one, when it just did stupid. Maybe there's more there than I know. I'm no grandmaster. I wish I could. Maybe I'll go back one day and still look at it and probably never figure it out anyway. It just screwed up. There's the game. But like I said, let me go back to this one where this all fell apart. Where is it? His bishop, where's his, all right, here. He goes here, and then he goes here. I think, and okay, let's say he goes like this. Well, then I go like this. He can't go back here again, because then I'll push the ponies back to where he was. So he can't put his queen back there. And let's say he goes back there again. Well, he's back to where he was. Now look, he's still in the same situation with this idea over here. You see, I think he got flustered at this point. So no matter what he was going to do at this point, but it didn't go on. He did this. I think it looked on 3 or 4 moves, or maybe however many moves, and it just realized, well, there's nothing here. And it just went like this and decided that this is the way it was going to be. Then the game went on. Okay, there you have it. Thanks for stopping by, and we're going to have some more. Remember, 1976 into 77.